everybody. Yoko 007 here, bringing you another exciting game in the 2008 replay with Inside Pitch. In today's game, we've got the 17-7 Los Angeles Angels taking on the 11-13 Detroit Tigers. This is game 2 of a 3-game series between the Angels and the Tigers. Angels taking the first game. Tigers looking to tie the series up. Will they be able to do it? Or will the Angels win the series? We'll find out in 9 innings time. Let's take a look at the starting defense for the Los Angeles Angels. Leading off the third baseman, Cone Figgins. Batting second, the designated hitter, Gary Matthews. Batting third, the right fielder, Vladimir Guerrero. Batting fourth, the first baseman in the cleanup position, Casey Cocheman. Batting fifth, the center fielder, Torii Hunter. Batting sixth, the left fielder, Garrett Anderson. Batting seventh, the second baseman, Mercer Izutris. Batting eighth, the catcher, Jeff Mathis. And batting ninth, the shortstop, Eric Abar. On the mound for the Tigers, it is Armando Galarraga. He'll come in today's game with a starting ERA of a 5.29. 1 win, 1 loss. He's pitched 15 1/3 of an inning, allowed 10 hits, 15 strikeouts, and 10 walks. We're here at Comerica Park, which gives a -1 to strikeouts, but a +1 to walks. And with that, Cone Figgins makes his way up into the batter's box as the home plate umpire dusts it off. And we're ready for the first pitch of the game. And it is a 1-1, column 1, row 1. That is a strikeout plus. So on a strikeout plus, we add 10 to the strikeout range, -1, so we're adding 9. That is a 1-19. We check the D20. That is an 8. It's in range. Struck him out looking. Struck him out looking, and he'll go down on strikes. And let's take a look at the starting defense for the Detroit Tigers. Jones will be out there in left field. Granderson will be in center. Ordonez will be at right. Going around the horn, we've got Ing on third. Rentia will be at short. Polanco will be on second. Cabrera will be at first. Rodriguez will be behind the plate. And Galarraga will be on the mound. Gary Matthews batting a .233 and the pitch. And it is a 5-4, column 5, row 4. It is a double star. Now, double star off the pitcher card in the physical game. You're going to take 1d6, roll it against the double star line, and that'll tell you what the auto out will be. The double star line is the auto out line. In the PC game, which is what we'll play in here, that'll randomly choose it, and that is going to be a ground ball to the third base line. Ing will make that catch. And that'll put 2 away. Vladimir Guerrero batting a .368. And the pitch. And that will be a 2-4, column 2, row 4, double star. This time it's going to be a fly ball back there to center field. Granderson will make the catch there. And that will retire the side. So no runs, no hits, and no errors as the Angels go down in order. We go to the bottom of the first, and here is the starting lineup for the Detroit Tigers. Leading off the center fielder, Curtis Granderson. Batting second, the second baseman, Placidio Polanco. Batting third, the designated hitter, Gary Sheffield. Batting fourth in the cleanup position, the right fielder, Maglio Ordonez. Batting fifth, the first baseman, Miguel Cabrera. Batting sixth, the left fielder, Jacques Jones. Batting seventh, the shortstop, Edgar Rentia. Batting 8th, the catcher, Ivan Rodriguez. And batting 9th, the third baseman, Brandon Ing. On the mound for the Angels, it is Dustin Mosley. Mosley comes in today's game with a starting ERA of a 4.44. 1 win and 1 loss. He's pitched 22 and 1/3 of an inning, allowed 22 hits, 12 strikeouts, and 5 walks. Curtis Granderson batting a .417 and the pitch. And that is going to be a 4-6. Column 4, row 6. That is a strikeout on a 1-9. The D20 is a 13. It is too high, outside of the range. We're going to roll for the batter now. 3-1, column 3, row 1. And that would be a line drive to Yzutris, who will make the catch. Throw it over underhand to Kochiman for the out, and that'll be out number 1. Let's take a look at the starting defense for the Los Angeles Angels. Anderson will be out there in left field. Hunter will be in center. Guerrero at right. Going around the horn, we've got Figgins on third. Abar will be at short. Yzutris will be on second. Kochiman at first. And Mathis will be behind the plate with Mosley on the mound. Presidio Polanco batting a .343. And the pitch. And that'll be a 1-2. Column 1, row 2. That is a strikeout on a 1-3. The 11 is too high. So no strikeout there. We're going to roll for the batter. And that'll be a 5-5. Column 5, row 5. That is a base hit past second base. And with that, Polanco will get on with a base hit. Gary Sheffield up. Sheffield batting a .219. Strategy roll is a 15. Infield at double play depth. Tigers holding off. And the pitch. And that'll be a 2-2. Column 2, row 2. That is a walk. And the range for the walk is on a 1-19. Remember, we add 1 to the walk result of the batter. So that's where we get the 1-19. We take a look on the D20. That is a 3. It is in range. And that'll put runners on first and second. First walk allowed of the game. Maglio Adonis batting a .356. Infield still at double play depth. This time the strategy roll is a 7. Anytime we have runners on base, we do roll for strategy. But the Tigers, standing pat. And that'll be a 5-3. Column 5, row 3. Possible error on a ground ball. So on an error check, that is the number in the bracket. Whose error range are we checking? And that'll be a 2-5. Column 2, row 5. It's a ground ball to Abar. How do we know it's a ground ball? Well, first of all, on Ordonez, it's a split result. So in a split result off of the batter card, we take a look at the pitcher. Is the pitcher left or right-handed? That's the first question we got to answer. In this case, Mosley is a right-handed pitcher. So on the batter card, we're going to look to the right-handed side of the slash. In this case, it's a ground ball to the shortstop. Abar, error range is on a 1-11. Remember, that is the number in the bracket. The D20 is a 16, so it's outside of his error range. There is no error. Now we'll check for the double play. Placidio will advance to third. Double play rating is a -1. Yzutris will be a 0. The pivot is second base from short. Ground double play rating is a 3. So we take 1d6 rolled against the modified ground double play rating, which in this case is a 3. And if the roll is less than or equal to the ground double play rating, it becomes a double play. In this case, that is a 3. The double play rating is a 3. In range, it is a 6-4-3 double play. So no runs, one hit, no errors. And the Tigers will leave one stranded after one. We're tied at 0. We go to the top of the second. Casey Coachman, Torii Hunter, and Garrett Anderson due up for the Angels. Casey Coachman batting a .353 and the pitch. And that'll be a 2-4, column 2, row 4. That is a home run result. Now, Coachman is a left-handed batter, so on the pitcher card, we'll look to the left-handed side of the slash. On a 1-7, the 10 is too high. And that will be, so no home run outside of the range. Now we'll roll for the batter. 6-4, column 6, row 4. It's a power hit to Granderson. On a 1-5, it's a single. 6-12, it's a double. On a 13, it's a triple. 14 through 20, it's a fly out and Granderson makes the catch. It's a 16. Granderson goes all the way back to the wall and makes the catch for out number 1. 1 away. Torii Hunter batting a .292 and the pitch. And that'll be a 1-3, column 1, column 3, row 1. And that'll be a possible error on a throw, and that'll be a 4-5. Column 4, row 5. Double star 1, it's going to be a fly ball to Jones. Jones' error range is on a 1-5. The 14, Jones will make the catch there, no error. And that'll put 2 away. Garrett Anderson batting a .234. 2 up, 2 down, nobody on, infield at normal depth, and that is going to be a 3-2, column 3, row 2. That is a strikeout on a 1-6. The 9 is too high. And that'll be a 3-4, column 3, row 4, double star 5. It's going to be a ground ball to Rentia. He'll make the catch, throw it over to Cabrera, and that will retire the side. So no runs, no hits, and no errors, and none left on for the Angels as the Tigers retire them in order. We go to the bottom of the second. Miguel Cabrera, Jacque Jones, and Edgar Rentia due up for the Tigers. Miguel Cabrera batting a .281 and the pitch. And that'll be a 3-2, column 3, row 2. Walk plus. Now, on a walk plus, it's the same as a strikeout plus, where we add 10 to the walk range plus the modifier from the ballpark. So we're adding 11 to Cabrera's walk range. And that makes it a 1-21. That is a 19. And that is good for a walk. So they'll walk Cabrera with a full count, and that'll bring up Jacque Jones. Jones batting a .117, runner on first. Strategy roll is a 15. The infield is at double play depth. And that'll be a 3-4. Column 3, row 4. That is the @ symbol. Anytime you roll the @ symbol off of the pitcher card, you'll resolve the play using the ballpark card. So in this case, we're going to resolve this play on the Comerica Park card. We go to the ballpark card, and that is going to be a 2-1, column 2, row 1. It's a base hit out into left field. Smacks a looper between Figgins and Abar. Anderson didn't have to go far to make that, to make the play. Throws it over to Abar, holds the runners at first and second. Cabrera, would he have advanced to third? Base run rating is a 0. We take a look at the ABR, the adjusted base run rating, and it notes if the base run rating drops to 0, less than 1, the runner holds. So no advancement. And a 20 on the strategy die. So anytime you roll 20 off of the strategy die, it is a pickoff attempt. On a 1-3, on a 1-3, it's a balk. On a 4 to 12, it's a pickoff. 13 to 20, nothing happens. It's a 10. It's a pickoff. So he'll pick off, I believe he's going to pick off Cabrera. He picks off the lead runner. Yep, picked off Cabrera. Lead runner is out. And infield still at double play depth. Edgar Rentia batting a .278. And the pitch. And that'll be a 5-4. Column 5, row 4. That is a strikeout on a 1 to 7. The die roll is the D20 shows a 3. Struck him out. And that'll be 2 away. Ivan Rodriguez batting a .253. Strategy roll is a 3. Infield now at normal depth. Runner on first with 2 outs. And that'll be a 4-6. Column 4, row 6. Strikeout on a 1 to 9. The 16 too high. And that'll be a 1-6. Column 1, row 6. Pop up. Figgins gets underneath it. Makes the catch. And that will retire the side. So no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and the Tigers will leave 1 stranded. After 2, we're still tied at 0. We go to the top of the 3rd, and it's Mercer Zoutris, Jeff Mathis, and Eric Abar due up for the Angels. Mercer Zoutris batting a .217. And that'll be a 2-1, column 2, row 1. That is a walk. On a 1 to 12, the D20, that's the blue die, shows a 9 in range. And that'll be good for a walk. So runner on first. So I'll trot on down to first. So that's the first walk allowed by Galarraga in this game. Jeff Mathis batting a .139. Strategy roll is a 13. The infield is at double play depth. And here is the pitch. And that'll be a 3-3, column 3, row 3. It's a double star. What is the... It's going to be a fly ball to Ordonis. Ordonis will make the catch. And that'll be 1 away. Runner on first, infield still at double play depth. Eric Abar batting a .269. Strategy roll is a 16. Angels holding off. And that'll be a 5-5, column 5, row 5. That's a home run on a 1 to 4. That is a 1. That ball is out of here. See you later. 2-run home run by Eric Abar. And he hits it down the left field side. Ordonis goes back. And that ball is into the crowd. He could not chase that ball fast enough. That's a moonshot. 2-run home run by Eric Abar puts the Angels up 2-0. That is his first home run of the replay. He hit 3 in the actual season. We go to the top of the order. Cone Figgins. Figgins 0 for 1. Struck out his last time up. And here is the pitch. And that'll be a 1-6. Column 1, row 6. That is a walk plus. On a 1 to 26, that is a 5. And that'll be good for a walk. So with that, Figgins will trot on down to first. Strategy roll is a 12. Gary Matthews is up. He's 0 for 1. And the pitch. Mathis, 1-3, column 1, row 3. It's a wild pitch. So, on a wild pitch result, we'll take a look at the wild pitch and passed ball range here now. On a 1 to 13, it's a wild pitch. On a 14 to 15, it's a passed ball. If it's 16 or higher, nothing happens. It's a 15, it's a passed ball. So we'll check here for Rodriguez. We're going to click pass ball. Oh, it's a passed ball. It gets by him. And with that on a passed ball, Figgins sees it, runs to third, runs to second. Matthews waves him to second. And with that, we have a runner on second, and they'll get into scoring position on a passed ball. And here is the pitch to Matthews. His response to that is going to be a 1-4, column 1, row 4. It's a ground ball to Rentia. And with that, runners advance on balls hit the first, second, or the catcher. So Figgins will go to third as Rentia throws it to Cabrera to get the out. 2 outs, runner on third. So whenever we have 2 outs and runners on base, we add a +1 to the base run rating, and that'll bring up Vladimir Guerrero. Guerrero is 0 for 1. Strategy roll is a 19, the infield at normal depth, and the pitch. And that'll be a 1-1, column 1, row 1, strikeout plus on a 1-17. That is a 5. Struck him out looking. Struck him out. 2 runs, 1 hit, no errors, and the Angels will leave 1 stranded. We go to the bottom of the third. Brandon Ing, Curtis Granderson, and Placidio Polanco due up for the Tigers. Brandon Ing batting an .076. And the pitch. And that'll be a 6-6, column 6, row 6. That is a strikeout. On a 1-14, the 19 is too high. And that'll be a 1-6, column 1, row 6. That's good for a base hit out there into center field. And with that, Brandon Ing leads off with a base hit. We go to the top of the order. Curtis Granderson, 0 for 1, infield at double play depth. And here is the pitch. Strategy roll, by the way, is a 17. Nothing doing the strategy die. And that'll be a 5-4, column 5, row 4. That is a strikeout on a 1-9. That is a 2. Struck him out. Struck him out, and that'll bring up Placidio Polanco, 1 for 1 today. Strategy roll is a 9, infield at double play depth, and here is the pitch. And that'll be a 2-5, column 2, row 5. It's a base hit. So Polanco smacks a base hit past the pitcher. Ing will go to second. Does he pick up third? Let's take a look. He'll advance to third. He'll go from first to third on balls hit past the pitcher on a base run rating of a 4 through 6. His base run rating is a 2. That is the number in the red. So he does not advance. He will hold. Hit that past, and Abar was able to pick that up, but by the time he did, runners got on base. Gary Sheffield walked his last time up. Strategy rolls a 17, infield at double play depth with 1 out, runners on first and second. And the pitch. And that'll be a 6-2, column 6, row 2. That is a home run on a 1-11. That is a 3, and that is a 3-run home run by Gary Sheffield. Fly ball down the left field side. Anderson runs back, runs into the wall, but that ball smacks off the off of the fan vision and plops right down into the seats to the people sitting right underneath it. It's a 3-run home run for the Tigers, and it gives them a 1-run lead. And that is Granderson Sheffield's 4th home run of the replay. And the crowd here at Comerica Park goes wild. It's 3-2 Tigers. Maglio Ordonez 0 for 1, and the pitch. Tigers flip the scoreboard in their favor, and that'll be a 6-5, column 6, row 5, double question mark. Now, double question mark off of the picture card. That is the only result right now that we follow, even when the batter is not tired. On a 1-3, it would have been a base hit. The 15 is too high. Ordonez, and that'll be a 4-4, column 4, row 4. Ground ball down the third base to the shortstop. Abar will get that catch. Throws it to coach him in for the out, and that'll put 2 away. Miguel Cabrera walked his last time up, and here is the pitch. And that'll be a 6-6, column 6, row 6. That is a strikeout on a 1-10. The 9 in range struck him out. So 3 hits, 3 runs, and no errors, and none left on for the Tigers. After 3, it's Tigers 3, Angels 2. We go to the top of the 4th. Casey Coachman, Torii Hunter, and Garrett Anderson due up for the Angels. Casey Coachman 0 for 1, and the pitch. And that'll be a 3-1, column 3, row 1. Possible error on a throw. And that'll be a 4-3, column 4, row 3. Ground ball to Cabrera. He'll make the catch there. Error range for Cabrera is on a 1-6. That is a 5. It's a throwing error. Cabrera throws it to It's an error on a throw. Throws it Galarraga to come over, but throws it wide. It's a 1-base error. And with that, Coachman will get on with an error. Cabrera had to go back and chase it, throws it, but drops it behind him to Galarraga, and with that, runners are safe. Torii Hunter, 0 for 1. Strategy roll is a 14, and here is the pitch. And that'll be a 6-3, column 6, row 3. Strikeout plus. Remember, the batter is a right-handed batter. So on a split result off of the pitcher card, we'll look to the right-handed side of the slash. Strikeout plus 1-19. The 20 just nudged out of the range. And the response, it's going to be a 3-6, column 3, row 6. Fly ball back there to right field. Ordonez comes running in, makes the catch. Throws it and makes the out. 1 away. Garrett Anderson, 0 for 1. Strategy roll is a 10. Infield at double play depth. And here is the pitch. And that'll be a 3-4. Column 3, row 4. Home run chance. Now, on a home run question mark, it's a home run chance. So we have 2 checks that we have to do. The first check is it in range off of the pitcher card? Did he throw it in the his wheelhouse? On a 1-4, the 4 is in range. It passed the first part of the check. Now, the second part of this check is off of Granderson. We will roll for Granderson. If the D20 is 10 or less, it's a 2-run home run. It's a 9, it's a home run, and the Angels have retaken the lead. Anderson with a long fly ball to right field. Ordonez goes running back. It's into the stands. And he hits that one into the upper decks, too. It's 4-3, 2-run home run, and the Angels flip the scoreboard back into their favor. Anderson with his 3rd home run, and that is the 3rd home run of this game. It's 4-3 Angels. 2-run home run by Garrett Anderson. And with that, Mercer Izutris is up. Izutris with a walk and a run scored and the pitch. And that'll be a 6-5, column 6, row 5, strikeout plus on a 1-14. That is a 9. Struck him out looking. And that'll be 2 away. Jeff Mathis. Mathis is 0 for 1 and the pitch. Mathis, 1-6, column 1, row 6, and that'll be good for a walk plus. Whoop, walk plus. Wrong one. There we go. Walk plus on a 1-22. That is a 6 in range, and that'll be good for a walk. So Mathis will trot on down to first, and that's going to bring up Eric Abar. Abar, 1 for 1 with a home run, a run, and 2 RBIs. And here is the pitch. The strategy roll, by the way, is a 1. Angels holding off. And that'll be a 3-2, column 3, row 2. That is a strikeout. On a 1-8, that is a 2. Struck him out. So 2 runs, 1 hit, and 1 error, and 1 left on for the Angels. We go to the bottom of the 4th. It's going to be Jacque Jones, Edgar Rentia, and Ivan Rodriguez due up for the Tigers. Jacque Jones, 1 for 1, and the pitch. Jones, 4-3, column 4, row 3. It's a wild pitch. Nobody is on, so we're going to roll for the batter. And that'll be a 5-2, column 5, row 2, line drive down to second base. Izutris will make the catch. And that'll be 1 away. Edgar Rentia is 0 for 1 with a strikeout and the pitch. And that'll be a 2-4, column 2, row 4. That is a blank. And that'll be a 1-4, column 1, row 4. Ground ball to the shortstop. Abar will make the catch there. Throw it over to Coachman. And that'll be out number 2. 2 up, 2 down, and that'll bring up Ivan Rodriguez, 0 for 1, and the pitch. And that'll be a 6-5, column 6, row 5. Double question mark, single on a 1-3. The 7 is too high. And that'll be a 3-2, column 3, row 2. Line drive to Abar. Once again, Abar will make the catch, throw it down to Coachman. And that will retire the side. So no runs, no hits, and no errors. 3 up, 3 down as the Angels retire the Tigers in order. After 4, it is Angels 4, Tigers 3. We go to the top of the 5th. Cone Figgins, Gary Matthews, and Vladimir Guerrero due up. Top of the order for the Angels. Cone Figgins 0 for 1 with a walk and a strikeout. And here is the pitch. 1-1. Column 1, row 1. That's going to be a strikeout plus. On a 1-19, that is a 9. Struck him out. Struck him out, and that's going to bring up Gary Matthews. Matthews is 0 for 2, and the pitch. And that'll be a 4-5. Column 4, row 5, strikeout plus on a 1-22. 17 in range. Struck him out looking. And that'll be 2 up, 2 down. That'll bring up Vladimir Guerrero. 0 for 2 today with a strikeout and the pitch. And that'll be a 1-4, column 1, row 4. That is a hit by pitch. So Galarraga, on a hit by pitch, he gives a -1. Hit by pitch range is a 4. The 7 is too high. And that'll be a 6-1, column 6, row 1. It's a base hit to Ordonez. And with that, Guerrero will get on with a base hit. Casey Coachman is 0 for 2 today with a run. Strategy roll is a 14. And here is the pitch, infield at normal depth. And that'll be a 3-1, column 3, row 1. Possible error on a throw. And that'll be a 3-3, column 3, row 3. It's a base hit out there into left field. On an error check on a 1 to 5, that is a 1. It's a throwing error. It's a 1 base error. And that'll put runners on second and third. Torrey Hunter is 0 for 2 today. Strategy roll is a 12. And here is the pitch. And that'll be a 3-2, column 3, row 2. Strikeout on a 1 to 9. The 11 is too high. And that'll be a 2-6, column 2, row 6. Ground ball to the shortstop. Brentier will make the catch. And that will retire the side. So no runs, 2 hits, and 1 error, and 2 left on for the Angels. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Brandon Ing, Curtis Granderson, and Presidio Polanco due up for the Tigers. Taking a look here at Dustin Mosley, he can face 6 more batters before he is considered tired. Brandon Ing, 1 for 1 with a run scored. And the pitch, and that'll be a 3-6, column 3, row 6. Range play. Now, on a range check, that will be the first number of the defensive position. And whose range are we checking? And that'll be a 3-5, column 3, row 5, pop-up Figgins. His range is on a 1 to 3. We're going to roll 1d6 against that range. And here, if it's on a 1 to 3, he makes the catch. It's a 3. He'll make the catch, and that'll be out number 1. And we go to the top of the order. Curtis Granderson, 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Granderson, 0 for 2 with a strikeout, and here is the pitch. And that'll be a 6-3, column 6, row 3, strikeout. On a 1 to 9, the 20 is too high. 6-3, column 6, row 3. It's a base hit to Guerrero. So Granderson will get on with a base hit. 1 out, runner on first. Infield at double play depth, and that's going to bring up Presidio Polanco. 2 for 2 with a run scored. Strategy roll is a 14. Tigers holding off. And that'll be a 4-6, column 4, row 6. That is a strikeout. On a 1 to 3, that is a 6. It is too high. 2-1, column 2, row 1, base hit to Abar. He won't be able to make the play. And that'll put runners on first and second. Does Granderson advance to third? He'll go from first to third on a base run rating on balls hit to the shortstop on a 5 to 6. That is a 3 he will hold. Gary Sheffield up. Sheffield is 1 for 1 today with a home run, a walk, a run, and 3 RBIs. Strategy roll 13 and the pitch. And that'll be a 6-6, column 6, row 6, strikeout On a 1 to 10, that is a 1. Struck him out. And that'll be 2 away. That's going to bring up Maglio Ordonez 0 for 2. Strategy roll is an 11. And the pitch. And that'll be a 2-5. Column 2, row 5. That's going to be good for a base hit past Mosley. Granderson on third is waved around. He'll go from second to home on a base run rating of a 2 through 6. That is a 4. This game is tied. And we're tied up at 4. Polanco on second. Does he go to third? No. He needs a base run rating of a 4 to 6. That is a 3. We have a tie game. Bullpen for the Angels starting to get warmed up. Miguel Cabrera. Cabrera 0 for 1 with a walk and a strikeout. Mosley has reached his pull rating. They are going to give him at least one more batter. Strategy roll is a 3. And that'll be a 5-6. Column 5, row 6. Strikeout plus. It's a strikeout on a 1 to 10. The 13 is too high. And that'll be a 1-2, column 1, row 2. Fly ball back there to Guerrero. He'll make the catch. And that'll be out number 3. And that will retire the side. 1 run, 3 hits, and no errors. And 2 left on after 5. We're tied at 4. We go to the top of the 6th. Garrett Anderson, Mercer Zutris, and Jeff Mathis do up. Galarraga can face 4 more batters before he is considered tired. And that'll be a 1-1, column 1, row 1. That is a strikeout plus on a 1 to 16. That is a 6. Struck him out. And that'll put 1 away. Mercer Zutris 0 for 1. With a walk, a strikeout, and a run, and the pitch. Zutris 2-1, column 2, row 1. That is a walk. On a 1 to 12, that is a 1, and that'll be good for a walk. So, runner on first. Strategy roll is a 16. The infield at double play depth. Jeff Mathis 0 for 1 with a walk. Galarraga's pull rating is 0. They are going to leave him on. He can face 2 more batters. That'll be a 6-1, column 6, row 1, double star. Fly ball back there. Granderson will make the catch. And that'll be 2 away. 2 on Eric Abar. 1 for 2 today with a home run, a strikeout, a run, and 2 RBIs. Strategy roll is a 10. Angels holding off, 2 outs, and that'll be a 3-3, column 3, row 3, double star. Fly ball back there, Ordonez will make the catch, and that will retire the side. So no runs, no hits, and no errors, and 1 left on for the Angels. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Jacque Jones, Edgar Rentia, and Ivan Rodriguez do up for the Angels. For the Tigers, sorry. And with that, we have a new pitcher on the mound for the Angels. Dustin Mosley is done. And they are going to bring in Darren O'Day will come in. Actually, they're going to bring in Jason Bugler. Bugler will come in. Comes into the game with no ERA. He's pitched 4 1/3 of an inning, allowed 3 hits, 3 strikeouts, and 3 walks. So 6, 7, and 8 due up. We don't want the box score just yet. We want the stats. Dustin Mosley, let's take a look at the stats here. Mosley went 5 innings, allowed 8 hits, 4 runs, 4 earned runs, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, 1 home run, an ERA of a 4.94. Jacque Jones, 1 for 2, and the pitch. And that'll be a 5-3, column 5, row 3. That is a strikeout on a 1-11. That is an 11. Struck him out. Struck him out. Now bring up Edgar Rentia. Rentia is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. And that'll be a 6-2, column 6, row 2. It's a range play. Whose range are we checking? And that'll be a 6-1, column 6, row 1. Power hit to Guerrero. On a 1-7, it's a single. 8-12, it's a double. 13, it's a triple. It's a 16, it's a fly ball back there, so it could be a fly out. Guerrero can't make the catch. It's a 6. Guerrero's range is a 1. He failed. We'll roll 1d20. On a 1-4, it's a double. On a 5-20, it's a single. And with that, Rentia will get on with a base hit. Guerrero is 0 for 1 on his ranges. So the go-ahead run is on first. Ivan Rodriguez is 0 for 2. Strategy roll is a 6. Tigers holding off. Infield double play depth. And here is the pitch. And that'll be a 6-6, column 6, row 6. That is a blank right now because Jason has not faced his allowed number of batters. And that'll be a 1-5, column 1, row 5. Base hit out there in the left field. And with that, Rentia will go to second. He will hold. Remember, if the rule says if it's less than 1, he will hold. So Brandon Ing is up. Ing is 1 for 2 with a run scored. Strategy roll is a 2. Tigers holding off, and here is the pitch. And that'll be a 4-4. Column 4, row 4. That is a strikeout. On a 1-14, that is a 1. Struck him out. We go to the top of the order. 2 outs. Runners on first and second. Infield normal depth. Strategy roll is a 3. Curtis Granderson, 1 for 3 with a strikeout and a run. And that'll be a 6-6. Column 6. Row 6, that is a blank. And that'll be a 3-3, column 3, row 3, fly ball back there. Hunter will make the catch. And that will retire the side. So no runs, 2 hits, and no errors. And the Tigers will leave 2 stranded after 6. We're tied at 4. We go to the top of the 7th, and it's the top of the order for the Angels. Cone Figgins, Gary Matthews, and Vladimir Guerrero due up for the Angels. Galarraga now done. And the Tigers are in Detroit going to their bullpen. And they are going to bring in Fernando Rodney, we'll call him Rodney. Rodney comes into the game with a 1.80 ERA. He does have 1 save. He's pitched 5 innings, allowed 5 hits, 4 strikeouts, and no walks. Taking a look at the stats here for Armando Galarraga, he went 6 innings, allowed 4 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned runs, 4 walks, 7 strikeouts, and 2 home runs. He'll lead the game with a 5.07 ERA. Top of the order, Cone Figgins, 0 for 2 with a walk and a strikeout. And here is the pitch. And that'll be a 5-5, column 5, row 5. Strikeout plus on a 1-19. That is a 16. Struck him out. Gary Matthews, 0 for 3 with a strikeout. And the pitch. And that'll be a 2-3, column 2, row 3. That is a blank. So Matthews is a switch hitter. He's batting left now. And that'll be a 4-1, column 4, row 1. Ground ball up the middle to Rodney. He'll make the catch. And that'll put 2 away. Vladimir Guerrero, 1 for 3 with a strikeout. 2 up, 2 down. And that'll be a 1-6, column 1. Row 6, that is a strikeout on a 1-7. The 14 is too high. And that'll be a 1-1, column 1, row 1, double star 1. It's a ground ball. Polanco will make the catch, throws it over to Cabrera for out number 3, and Singh, take me out to the ball game. So no runs, no hits, and no errors as the Tigers retire the Angels in order, 3 up, 3 down. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Placidio Polanco, Gary Sheffield, and Maglio Ordonez due up for the Tigers. And with that, Jason Bugler done on the mound. And they are going to bring in, as we go back to their bullpen, they are going to bring in this time they're going to bring in Darren O'Day. Darren O'Day will come into the game with a 5.63 ERA, 2 wins and no losses. He's pitched 8 innings, allowed 11 hits, 5 strikeouts, and 2 walks. Take a look at the stats here. Jason Bugler, he went 1 inning, allowed 2 hits and 2 strikeouts, no ERA. Let's take a look at the box score after 6.5 had been played here in Detroit, in the Motor City. The Angels scored 2 runs in the 3rd, 2 runs in the 4th, 4 runs on 4 hits and no errors. They've been shut out since then. Detroit came back, scored 3 runs in the 3rd and a run in the 5th. 4 runs on 10 hits, but 2 errors committed. 14 hits between both teams. 2, 3, and 4 due up in the lineup for the Tigers. Polanco up. He's 3 for 3 with a run scored and the pitch. And that'll be a 3-2, column 3, row 2. It's a range play. Whose range are we checking? 1-5, column 1, row 5. Fly ball back there to Hunter. His range is a 1-4. It's a 5. Hunter can't make the catch. That's good for a base hit. And Hunter is on with a bit, and Polanco will lead off with a base hit. Hunter is 13 for 17 on range plays. 9 is the strategy, rolling through to double play depth. Gary Sheffield, 1 for 2 today, with a home run, a walk, a strikeout, a run. and 3 RBIs, and that is going to be a 3-4, column 3, row 4. It's a blank. And that is going to be a 2-3, column 2, row 3. Line drive to Figgins. He'll make the catch. And that is an out, no double play there. On a 1, it would have been at first base. On a 2 to 3, they would have doubled up at second. So 1 out, and Maglio Ordonez, who is 1 for 3 with an RBI. Strategy roll 17, infield still at double play depth. Tigers standing pat. 3-6, column 3, row 6. That is a strikeout. On a 1 to 6, that is a 5. Struck him out. And Miguel Cabrera, 0 for 2 with a walk and a strikeout. Cabrera going to take the hit, and that is going to be a 6-1, column 6, row 1. It's a strikeout. On a 1 to 10, that is a 4. Struck him out. So no runs, 1 hit, and no errors, and 1 left on for the Tigers. After 8, we're still tied at 4. We go to the top of the 8th. It's Casey Coachman, Torii Hunter, and Garrett Anderson due up. Fernando is done, and they are going to bring in Clay Parada is going to come in today. Parada comes into the game with a 3.16 ERA, no wins and 1 loss. He's pitched 5 2/3 of an inning, allowed 2 strikeouts, 3 hits, 2 strikeouts, and 1 walk. Taking a look at the stats here for Fernando, he went 1 inning, had 1 strikeout, an ERA of a 1.50. Casey Coachman is 1 for 3 with a run scored. There is 1 change. Cabrera is going to come out at first. And with that, they're going to bring in Carlos Gullin is going to come into play at first base. Right field is also getting it changed. Ordonez is done, and they're going to bring in Jacque Jones. So, Jones is already in the lineup. Okay, so we're going to bring in Clete Thomas. Clete Thomas will come in at right field. So those are the only changes they are making. Coachman 1 for 3 with a run scored, and the pitch. They're going to let him take the hit, and that is going to be a 5-6, column 5, row 6. It's a walk plus. On a 1 to 17, that is a 7. That is in range, and that is good for a walk. So Coachman will trot on down to first, and that'll bring up Torii Hunter. Hunter is 0 for 3 today. Hunter going to take the hit. Casey at first base. They're going to bring in a pinched runner. And they're going to bring in Harry Kendrick. Kendrick going to pinch run here. Torii Hunter 0 for 3. Strategy roll is a 19. And the pitch. And that is going to be a 1-4, column 1, row 4. That is a walk. On a 1 to 12, the 14 is too high. And that is going to be a 5-4, column 5, row 4, ground ball to Rentia. And that is a 6. The play is only at first. So on a roll of a 6, on a ground double play check, the out is only at first. So Kendrick will move to second. And out is at first, so 1 away. Garrett Anderson, 1 for 3 with a home run, a strikeout, or a run and 2 RBIs. And the pitch. And that'll be a 4-6, column 4, row 6. On a 1 to 14, it's a wild pitch. On a 15 to 17, it's a passed ball. It's a 9, it's a wild pitch. And the go-ahead run is 90 feet away. Here's the pitch to Anderson. And that is going to be a 2-2, column 2, row 2. And in this case, it is a single. Clay is a left-handed pitcher. So on the batter card, we look to the left-handed side of the slash. And the Angels will take a 1-run lead. One out, and that's going to bring up Mercery Zoutras. 1 for 2 with 2 walks, a strikeout, and a run. Clay can face one more batter before he is considered tired, and that'll be a 3-1. Column 3, row 1, that is a blank. Infield, by the way, is at double play depth, and that's going to be a 1-6. Column 1, row 6, double star 5. It's a fly ball. Jones will get underneath it, comes running in, and that'll put 2 away. Jeff Mathis, 0 for 2 with a run. Strategy roll is a 15, and here is the pitch. And that'll be a 5-1. Column 5, row 1 at the ballpark. We're going to go to Comerica Park for this play. And that is going to be a 3-6. Column 3, row 6. It's a ground ball to Polanco. He'll make the catch. And that will retire the side. And at first base, they're going to bring in Kendry Morales. Kenji will come in to take over at first. So with that, Jacques, we go to after the bottom of the inning. There, 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on for the Angels. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Jacques Jones, Edgar Rentia, and Ivan Rodriguez do up. So we go to the bottom of the half, bottom of the 8th. Vladimir Guerrero coming out at right field. And they are going to bring in Rob Quaylen will come in at. Yeah. So 6, 7, and 8 do up in the lineup. Darren O'Day can face 2 more batters. O'Day is done as well. Left, right, right. So they are going to bring in Scott Shields. Shields will come in to relieve. He comes in with no ERA. No wins and no losses. Does have 4 saves. He's pitched 8 2/3 of an inning. Allowed 3 hits, 10 strikeouts, and 1 walk. Jacques Jones, 1 for 3 with a strikeout. Let's take a look at the stats real quick because we're getting ahead here. Darren O'Day went 1 inning, allowed 1 hit, 2 strikeouts, an ERA of a 5.0. Jacques Jones, 1 for 3 with a strikeout and the pitch. And that'll be a 2-5, column 2, row 5, home run chance on a 1-6. The 9 is too high. And that'll be a 3-5, column 3, row 5, double star 2. It's a ground ball to Figgins. He'll make the catch, throw it over to Morales. And that'll be out number 1. Edgar Rentia, 1 for 3 with a strikeout. And that'll be a 5-2, column 5, row 2. That is a blank. And that'll be a 1-3, column 1, row 3. It's a base hit past the shortstop. Egger on with a base hit, 1 out. So runner on first, infield at double play depth. Strategy roll is a 3. It's a hit and run for Ivan Rodriguez, who's 1 for 3. Hit and runs work like this. All ground double play ratings get a -2. Base run ratings get a +2. All home run and walk rates for the batter are cut in half, rounded down. Lineouts are considered double plays with the exception of an error on a throw. And if the batter strikes out, we'll resolve the play as a steal. Here's the pitch to Rodriguez, and that is going to be a 3-1, column 3, row 1. That is a blank. 1 out, by the way. And that is going to be a 5-2, column 5, row 2. Double star 1. It's a ground ball to Zoutris. And that will check for a double play rating. That is a +1. That is a 0. That makes it a 3. That is a 2. It is in range. Double play. 4-6-3. Double play. So no runs, 1. So no runs, 1 hit, and no errors, and none left on after 8. It's Angels 5, Tigers 4. We go to the top of the 9th. It's Eric Abar, Cone Figgins, and Gary Matthews due up for the Angels. Clay Parada done. And they're going to bring in Todd Jones, I believe. Let's take a look. Yep, Todd Jones is going to come in. Jones will come into the game with a 10.19 ERA. He's got no wins and 1 loss, 2 saves. He has pitched 5 1/3 of an inning, allowed 8 hits, 2 strikeouts, and 1 walk. Taking a look at the stats here for Clay, he went 1 inning, allowed 1 hit, 1 run, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 1 wild pitch, and an ERA of a 4.03. Taking a look at the box score after 8 innings had been played, the Angels scored a run in the 8th. It's 5 runs on 5 hits, giving them 5 runs on 5 hits. The Tigers, 3 in the 3rd, a run in the 5th, 4 runs on 12 hits, and 2 errors. 17 hits between both teams so far after 8 had been played. 9-1-2 in the lineup, and here's the pitch to Eric Abar, who is 1 for 3 with a home run, a strikeout, a run, and an RBI. They're going to intentionally walk him. That is a 6-3, column 6, row 3. That is a blank. Actually, no, that is a double star. And that is going to be a fly ball back there to Jones, who will make the catch. And that'll put 1 away. We go to the top of the order. Cone Figgins. 0 for 3 today with a walk and a strikeout. Figgins going to take the hit. And that is a 4-3, column 4, row 3. That is a strikeout. On a 1-9, that is a 2. Struck him out. And that'll be 2 away, and that's going to bring up Gary Matthews. Matthews is 0 for 4 with a strikeout. Matthews going to take the hit. And that is a 2-4, column 2, row 4. That is a blank. Matthews, 1-6, column 1, row 6, and that is going to be a fly ball back there to Granderson, who'll make the catch. And that will retire the side. So no runs, no hits, and no errors as the Tigers send the Angels down in order. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the bottom of the 9th. It's Brandon Ainge, Curtis Granderson and Placidio Polanco due up for the Tigers. They're down by five. They're down by one to tie, two to win. Brandon Ing, and with that, Scott Shields is done, and they're going to bring in Francisco Rodriguez. No doubt about that. He'll come in for the save. Comes into the game with a 1.64 ERA, 1 win and no losses. He's got 8 saves, 11 innings pitched, 5 hits, 9 strikeouts, and 4 walks. Take a look at the stats here for Scott Shields. He went 1 inning, allowed 1 hit, an ERA of 0.0, so nil for that. Brandon Ing, 1 for 3 with a strikeout, and here is the pitch. And that'll be a 2-2, column 2, row 2 at the ballpark. We're going to go to Comerica Park, and that is going to be a 1-3, column 1, row 3, double star 6. That's a fly ball. Quaylen will get the catch there, comes running in. And that'll put 1 away, and we go to the top of the order. Curtis Granderson. Granderson 1 for 4 with a strikeout and a run. And the pitch. And that is going to be a 3-3, column 3, row 3. Strikeout plus on a 1-19. That is a 14 in range. Struck him in, and then to bring up Placidio Polanco. 4 for 4 today with a run scored. The Tigers down to the last out. And that'll be a 4-1, column 4, row 1. That is a walk on a 1-8. The 10 is too high. And that'll be a 5-1, column 5, row 1. That's good for a base hit down the third baseline. Tying run on base. Tying run on base, Gary Sheffield. 1 for 3 today with a home run, a walk, a strikeout, a run, and 3 RBIs. And here is the pitch. Tigers down to the last out, 2-1, column 2, row 1, strikeout plus on a 1-20. That is a 12. Struck him out. And that's the ball game as the Los Angeles Angels defeat the Detroit Tigers of a final score of 5-4. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and the Tigers will leave 1 stranded. Final line score coming right up. So the final score of the game, Los Angeles Angels defeat the Detroit Tigers 5-4. 5 runs on 5 hits and no errors. And the Tigers, 4 runs on 13 hits and 2 errors. Darren O'Day will pick up his 3rd straight win. Clay Parada will pick up his 2nd straight loss. Francisco Rodriguez will pick up his 9th straight save. Eric Abar hits his 1st home run of the replay. Garrett Anderson hits his 3rd home run of the replay. And Gary Sheffield hits his 4th home run of the replay. Taking a look at the stats here, Darren O'Day went 1 inning, allowed 1 hit, 2 strikeouts, an ERA of a 5.0. Clay Parada, who went 1 inning, picks up his 2nd loss. He allowed 1 hit, 1 run, 1 earned run, 1 walk. 1 wild pitch, an ERA of a 4.03. And Francisco Rodriguez, who will get the save, he went 1 inning, allowed 1 hit, 2 strikeouts, an ERA of a 1.50. Todd Jones went 1 inning, allowed 1 strikeout, an ERA of an 8.57. So that is going to do it for us here at Comerica Park, as the Los Angeles Angels will improve to 18-7, and the Detroit Tigers will drop to 11-14. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like and a thumbs up on your way through the turnstile. And remember to click that bell notification to be notified of when new videos in the 2008 replay go up. And when I go live with all of the Philadelphia Phillies games. Until then, I'm Yoko007. We'll see you for another exciting game in the 2008 replay with Inside Pitch. Until then, take care, everyone. Bye-bye.